Hello, my name is Fan Yang. Welcome to my CS5714 presentation on reflective reading. In this video, I'll present a summary of a reading that I did from prototyping section of the readings list. I chose the piece by Aaron Travis entitled Sketchy Wireframes because I spent a lot of time doing wireframes in the last few days. I wanted to know what an expert had to say. Aaron is a very experienced UX developer and CEO of polysuite.com. He wrote this piece in 2009 for the website boxesandarrows.com, which is a peer-written journal on architecture and design. Aaron begins the post by stating a problem. Digital wireframing tools have the drawback of looking too artificial and being cluttered with too many details that give the false impression of being more developed than they really are. In an ideal world, as elements get signed off, they should be drawn more neatly, while the more tentative elements should remain sketchy looking. In other words, visual quality is not just a matter of aesthetics. We want to use it as a cue to know which elements to take more or less seriously. This subtlety is not appreciated by many stakeholders. Aaron gives us 4 interesting ways that computer-generated sketches can backfire. Clients and executives want to rush projects and claim milestones, and if something looks more polished than it should be, they might assume the project is more advanced than it is. Next, programmers want to know which features are abstract and concrete so they can map that understanding to the components they're developing. And if everything looks well polished, they might get the wrong impression. Next, presenting a design that looks way too advanced might give other designers the wrong impression that you're making a call where it is not your call to make, and this might create conflict. Finally, most users are too polite to critique polished designs, and having a sketchier look can help elicit valuable feedback. So given these shortcomings, why don't we just ditch computer-generated tools and use pencils? Many people are self-conscious about their drawing ability and might not be comfortable doing hand sketches. Another reason is that people tend to associate computer-generated graphics with quality, and if one reverts to a more low-tech method, it might be perceived as lazy or sloppy. There are also 2 practical reasons. One, it's difficult to reuse drawings for minor tweaks. When things get detailed, it can be quite burdensome to redraw stuff. And finally, hand-sketched wireframes are good for paper prototyping, but the workload does not scale well if a lot of wireframes have to be scanned and converted into digital objects. So what does Aaron propose? He has quite a bit of experience doing sketchy wireframes. Here's an example of what a tool should be able to do. On the left is a traditional wireframe look that is way too polished and neat, and on the right is a sketchified version of it. Aaron identifies 4 key elements of a tool for this purpose. Number 1, the tool should be able to do freeform sketches and let the user make hand-drawn sketches easily. 2, the tool should enable easy conversion from a sketchy look to the traditional look. 3, the tool should be able to approximate hand-drawn lines. They should be wavy, with varying line weights, and have some smudging and smearing. And 4, the tool should enable rapid interactive prototyping, thus addressing one of the main concerns and drawbacks of handmade sketches. Aaron even went so far as to rate 10 popular computer-based sketching tools when he wrote his article, and as you can see at the time of writing, most of them did not support all 4 elements, though some did come close. It would be interesting to see what is out there today. So in terms of key takeaways, personally I would say I learned 4 things from Aaron. First, human psychology is a huge factor in what we do and why we do things. Design has a big psychological component as it pertains to the user, but we shouldn't forget that psychology is also a big deal for designers in the workplace. Second, the sketchy look has a purpose, and this is something that I feel was largely overlooked in our course. The third takeaway follows from the first 2. Not everybody understands the value in sketchy wireframes, and so as the designer, you should sell the idea before doing it. And lastly, the 4 principles for a useful, sketchy wireframing tool is something potentially useful to keep in mind when looking for such a tool for professional use in the future. That's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, take care.